What's up, Tailgaters? You're in the booth with Tailgate Nate today. Welcome to my channel. Final day here for Week 6 predictions. Got 3 more games coming out for you today. We got a really interesting one here in the Pac-12. The Washington State Cougars, who have been absolutely phenomenal to watch this year, go on the road in Los Angeles, California, in the Rose Bowl to take on Dante Moore and the UCLA Bruins. Cam Ward versus Dante Moore. This should be a very fun matchup to watch from LA. We're going to dive into it, tell you where to watch it, all of that. But as you guys know, I got some business I got to take care of first. Thank you guys for the support the channel has seen over the past 2-3 months. However long it's been, really does mean a lot to me. If you guys want to continue to show your support, hey, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you know when videos get uploaded. But there are more ways than that to help me support this channel. You guys are doing one of them right now just by watching this video. And you guys can do more by liking, commenting, sharing, really anything else you guys are willing and are able to do to help me support this channel would mean a lot to me. But enough about me. Let's get all that out of the way. Now that it's out of the way, Washington State, UCLA. That's what we're here to talk about today. The Cougars and Bruins. The Cougars, hey, there was kind of this set precedent that there was already a top tier in the Pac-12 conference coming into the season, and Washington State was maybe just on the outside of it. Well, I would argue now that Washington State has sort of leaped over UCLA to kind of take over that 6th spot, if you can even call it the 6th spot. They've been playing like a top 15 team all year long. UCLA has had some really good moments, and they've had some ugly moments. We'll see if they can string it together here in this one. But let's go ahead now, dive on into the stats. Again, if my slides would change, sorry about that. Don't know what happened there, but here we go. Washington State is the road team, so we are going to start with them first, and this offense has been electric. Cam Ward at quarterback, I mean, he's playing like a Heisman contender right now. His stat line is absolutely insane. 1,390 yards, which I believe is somewhere around top 10, at least top 20 in the nation. 13 touchdowns, no picks. That should be the stat line right there that kind of solidifies that. 74.6% completion percentage. Cam Ward is playing out of his absolute mind, and it's really, really impressive to see because he had a lot of new weapons to work with here at the wide receiver room coming in, and a lot of them, I mean, for the most part, just really, really good wide receiver room here, really distributing it to a lot of people, including by the likes of Lincoln Victor, Josh Kelly, Kyle Williams, Carlos Hernandez, and the tight end, Cooper Mathers. All those guys have over 100 receiving yards. And then you even have a guy by the name of Tasan Nunali, who only has 1 catch this year, but 72 yards. That one went to the house for a touchdown. A lot of big plays, a lot of deep passes. This Washington State offense also does have a fairly solid run game. You're led by former Wisconsin Badger there in Nakia Watson. Cam Ward has shown the run ability here and there, but it starts with the pass, right? This is the Washington State team that's led by Cam Ward, led by the pass. That's what drives this offense, and they're one of the best teams, I believe the best team in the nation in third down conversion percentage. When you take a look at the defensive side, yeah, okay, there are some reasons to be maybe mildly concerned about this defense. However, again, when you take a look at what just the way that this Washington State offense is playing, maybe you don't get too concerned about your defense throughout the season so far. But maybe you have to start here in this game because the UCLA defense is no joke. And we'll talk about it when we get there. But if this is going to be a defensive kind of brawl, the Washington State defense needs to show up. However, with all of that being said, from what we have seen so far, it has still been very, very impressive. I know the numbers may be a little bit inflated to go to say that this has been an impressive defense to watch so far, but really it has. They've been able to get pressure to the quarterback. They've been able to force some crucial turnovers. I mean, for the most part there, yeah, kind of late in that game against Oregon State, the Beavers were able to rally and come back. But for the most part this year, this is the defense that was able to stifle Wisconsin, especially on the ground. It's a defense that just right now, I know the stats may say otherwise, but they're playing really, really good defense over there in Pullman right now. But you get a new task here, right? You have to go handle Dante Moore and the UCLA offense. Now, which Dante Moore are we going to get? Well, so far on the season, 849 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 picks. Hasn't really shown the rushing ability really at all this season, but as a passer, he's definitely had his really good games, and then he's also had his poor performances as well. I mean, go back and take a look at the game there against Utah. Now, Utah has a very stifling defense, yes, but Dante Moore definitely could have played better there in that game. However, it's not just him that runs this offense, right? He's got a really good group of wide receivers led by the Cal transfer, J. Michael Sturdivant. And when you take a look at the running back room as well, this is a rushing attack that is getting it done. Carson Steele, the Ball State transfer, leading the way here. 41 carries, 272 yards, 6.6 yards per carry, couple touchdowns. You have a couple other guys back there. TJ Harden, Anthony Adkins, both of those guys have been really, really good so far for this rushing attack as well. One thing UCLA's got to do, though, in this game, protect Dante Moore. 11 sacks have been allowed so far this year. They've only played 4 games, 2.75 sacks per game, and you got to hold on to the football a little bit better here, maybe convert on third downs a little bit better, considering the way that this Washington State offense is able to move down the field and seemingly convert third downs with ease. But that leads me into the UCLA defense, guys. This is a UCLA defense that has been very, very impressive so far throughout this season. This is by far, though, the biggest offensive test that they are going to get this year. I mean, you go back and you take a look at all the opponents that UCLA has played so far throughout the year. None of them have an offense that even come close to comparing what they're going to get here against the Washington State Cougars. With all that being said, it's a defense that still played really, really well. They're generating turnovers. They have 9 so far on the year. They're getting pressure to the quarterbacks. They have 15 sacks. And they also have one of the best pass rushers in the entire nation. And I will butcher this name, but Latu. No, I butchered that, so I apologize to Bruin fans and just people in general for the mispronunciation. But he's leading the way with 4 sacks. You got a couple linebackers that have 3 sacks, 2 sacks. They're getting pressure to the quarterback. The defensive line is able to stop the run, and the secondary has shown up big at times this season. They have 9 pass defended, 6 picks so far on the season. That all leads me into my keys to the game, what to watch for, just some things I think you guys should keep an eye on when you are paying attention to this game. For starters, we will start with the road team. That's the undefeated 13th ranked Washington State Cougars. Keep this high-flying offense aggressive, right? And you may need to mix the run in here and there, right? Because I think UCLA really going to prepare for a pass game, given how much, given how well UCLA has been able to defend the run this year. They're not even allowing 80 yards per game on the ground. This is a Washington State attack that's going to need to get it done through the air, but you know what? That's their bread and butter. That's what they've done all year long. Just keep this high-flying offense aggressive, because it's by far the biggest test that UCLA's defense will have faced so far this season. This Washington State defense, though, faces a very balanced attack. UCLA is a team that loves to mix up play calls. When you think they're going to pass it, they'll run it. When you think they're going to run it, they'll pass it. You really never quite know what's coming out of this UCLA offense. So this is a defense that's going to have to prepare to defend the run and the pass both, but you also have to contain Dante Moore. He is a rising star that has had his moments this year, and if Dante Moore plays with his A game, like, again, you see that first bullet point down there, he's going to be really hard to stop. And it's a Washington State defense that's going to have to create some pressure there. But time of possession will be won by the Cougars, right? This is a UCLA team that's not super concerned with time of possession. Why? Well, because their defense hasn't really given up a whole lot, right? And they haven't really faced a team that controls time of possession like the Washington State Cougars do. Time of possession will be won by Washington State, and it's going to be a huge factor in this game, because Dante Moore is going to need to have the ball quite a bit in this game here, because you want to try to keep the Washington State offense off the field as much as possible. But in order to do that, you also have to score points, which means Dante Moore, Carson Steele, J. Michael Sturdivant, and this UCLA offense have to be on their A game. You got to be able to hit the deep passes. You got to be able to set the tone, get the run going, and you got to be able to methodically drive down the field here in this game. Another big thing for UCLA here is the offensive line has to step up. I believe if you go back to the last slide, they're allowing, 11 sacks this year? I believe I got that number right. If not, you can rewind the video and go back and look. The offensive line has got to step up, definitely a pretty good job here opening up the run holes, but a much better job of protecting Dante Moore there as well. And if you are the UCLA Bruins, do not turn the ball over. This is a defense that's been able to force turnovers, but you cannot give the ball back to Cam Ward in this Washington State offense, especially if the Cougars are already up by anywhere from 7 to 14 points. That's going to be huge because Washington State will take advantage of that. They will go down and score. The defense is going to have to get pressure to Cam Ward. It's been able to get pressure to the other quarterbacks they have faced so far this year. Cam Ward is a different animal, though. You got to be able to create pressure to him, but you also have to cover well in space. You got to be able to handle these wide receivers, and you got to be able to really defend what Washington State is going to throw at the UCLA Bruins. The secondary will be well tested, but let's go back to the point there about time of possession, right? UCLA is the favorite in this game, which honestly does not surprise me. They're a 66.4% chance to win according to ESPN's FPI. Sadly, not a lot of people will be able to tune into this one 3 p.m. Kind of a weird start time there, Eastern Standard on the Pac-12 network. However, I think it's going to be a very fun, very competitive, very entertaining game. And when I take a look here at these two sides, I think the time of possession battle does matter. While UCLA is a very, very balanced attack, I think Washington State's offense is too explosive. This is by far the best test that UCLA's defense is going to face. I don't know that I can fully 100% trust Dante Moore to take over a game yet. Maybe later down the line I can. But as of right now, I think the Bruins keep it close. But Washington State gets the extra turnover, gets the extra possession, makes the extra play, whatever you want to say, to help them win this game and stay unbeaten. They get a big road win. 31-26 is my final score prediction. Let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section down below. And hey, as always, remember to play hard but tailgate harder. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Goodbye.